Hello dear aspirants, welcome back to Life Science Academy. Today we're talking about the neuron structure. So what is the neuron and what's its constituent leading to action potential? So neuron is the what? Neuron is the functional unit of CNS. Functional unit of neuron is a functional unit of CNS, central nervous system. Like other neurons, we have nerve cells and this nerve cell is looking like this. So this is the typical structure of neuron. In the neuron, this is the region we call it as a cell body. Call it as a cell body. In the cell body region, like other cells, we have cellular organelles like the nucleus, like the nucleus, and in the nucleus, the genetic material is also present. Mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, all the cellular organelles are present in this region except one thing, and this one thing is centriole. You have to remember in your mind, centriole is totally absent in adult neuron. Adult neuron. Centriole is not present. Otherwise, all these cellular organelles are present. And if we're talking about the cell body, in the cell body region, there will be presence of lots of dendrites. These are the dendrites. These are the dendrites. In the dendrite region, we have some receptor. For what? We have some receptor, and this receptor is known as the nicotinic acid receptor. Acid receptor. Or you can say niacin acid receptor. This is a receptor which is open when this interact with the cation, and this cation such as sodium. The sodium is interact with this region of receptor and open this receptor channel, and this region is sensory. This region is for sensory. This region is sensory because of the presence of receptor channel. And if we're talking about this part is axon. So axon part is rich in myelin sheath. Rich in myelin sheath. What is the myelin sheath? Myelin sheath is acting as an insulator. Why? Because it is rich in lipid molecules. Here, composition of lipid molecules as compared to protein or carbohydrate is more. So, this is rich in lipid molecule and acting as an insulator. In this region, we have also receptor, but this receptor is not the ligand gated. Here, the receptor which is present is called it as a voltage gated sodium channel. So, this receptor will open when interact with the sodium channel, when bind with the sodium molecule. And here in this region, the myelin sheath is totally absent. This region is called nodes of Ranvier. Nodes of Ranvier. In this region, myelin sheath is absent, and this region is called axon terminal. In the axon terminal region, if we zoom at this region, so this region is looking like this. So here, lots of vesicles are filled with neurotransmitter, and this neurotransmitter is releasing out in this region, so that the action potential propagate in this manner, leading up to the action potential in the axon terminal region with the interaction of the pre and post synaptic cleft. This is the cleft between the pre, this is the pre, and another neuron which is interact, or another neuron cell body which is interact with the, or dendrite interact with this region, is called the postsynaptic region. This region is important in action potential generating cells. So, as you all know that CNS neurons is the basic functional unit of CNS, but some organelles also have neurons like the retina and cochlea. These two also have the neuron, and the cochlea, which is present in the ear organ, here also presence of the neurons for auditory system. If we have neurons, so how neuron work? How neuron work? So remember, this is the region we call it as a dendrites, and this is the axon, and this is the budding of what? Axon terminal. So if this axon is interact with the another axon, so how to interact? This is the, there will be presence of receptor. There will be presence of receptor, and this receptor is open when interact with the ligand. This ligand is a nicotinic acid receptor. Nicotinic acid receptor, or you can say acetylcholine receptor. Acetylcholine receptor. This receptor will open when bind with the acetylcholine. This is a neurotransmitter. So in this region, this is the nucleus of the cell body. So in this region, when the sodium ion enter into the cell body, this will lead to the changes in membrane potential, and this changes leads to the action potential generating in the axon part. In the axon part, we have sodium channel, but this sodium channel will open when voltage will get it changes. If the changes in voltage like up to the 40 millivolt reaches, this type of channel will open and propagate to the action potential, and this propagating action potential is leading up to the axon terminal part. In the axon terminal part, we have neurotransmitter filled vesicles. This neurotransmitter is acetylcholine. This neurotransmitter will release and interact with the postsynaptic of another neuron. So this is the pre, and this is the postsynaptic region of the another neuron. As a result, in this region, there will be presence of the calcium gated channels. This region is present, calcium gated present. So three things remember in your mind. In the cell body region, sodium or you can say ligand gated sodium channel is present. In the axon part, sodium gated voltage gated channel is present. In the axon terminal part, calcium gated channel is present. So where the actual location of these channels is seen in this typical structure. When some signaling molecule is interacting with this region, like this is the sodium, like this is the sodium. This will lead to changes in the membrane potential in the cell body region, and when generate a action potential into this region, and this region will propagate the signal up to the axon terminal, and this axon terminal will interact with another neuron post-synaptic region or cell body region. This is how is working the neurons in the central nervous system. After that, we have some basic idea about the membrane potential. As you all know, friends, that the anterior part of cell is positively charged and the outer side is negative. So this is the membrane charge. This is the membrane charge. When this is the resting phase of neuron. When this neuron will stimulated, if the neuron is interacting with the sodium gated photonic acid receptor, this will open the receptor, acetylcholine receptor, leading to changes in the cell membrane voltage. So initially we have look like this condition, and after we have look like this type of condition. This is called as a depolarization. This is the depolarization. This depolarization happens when the sodium enters into the cell, when the sodium enters into the cell and opens the sodium gated channel. So this is the totally reverse of the initial condition. This is the actual action potential which will lead to the neuron to neuron communication. In an upcoming video, we have to discuss what is the action potential and how to generate the action potential. So if you have the idea about this structure, where the ligand bind, where the axon terminus, where this axon terminal bulb fuse with the postsynaptic region. So you have to know what is the basic idea of the action potential mechanism.